Okay, I'm going to moan. I'm going to moan. I'm going to moan about the film Nosferatu by Robert Eggers, because I like Robert Eggers. Not anymore. I bloody don't. I stupidly bought the film on iTunes because I really wanted to see it. Again, big fan of the original. A fan of the remake, the Werner Herzog remake with Klaus Kinski and Isabella Adjani. Isabella Adjani. Oh, just. So I sat down. I thought, oh, this will be interesting. No, it wasn't. It wasn't interesting at all. It was awful. It's his worst film. Very disappointed in it. It reminded me of Peter Jackson when Peter Jackson did King Kong. It was a King Kong sized turd, wasn't it? That was. Again, it's a vanity project. You know, they go, oh, I like that film. They liked that film when I was a kid, so I'm going to remake it. It's that. It's like me saying I'm going to remake 2001. I think probably someone take a hit out of me if I actually threatened to do that. Imagine that. Imagine someone threatened to remake 2001. I'm going to make it a bit more zippy. I'm going to cut out all the boring space stuff for the kids. You know, I'm going to get Hal voiced by an AI version of Robin Williams. You know, just to keep it a bit more peppy, because it's a bit dull, isn't it? Bit dull, bit boring. The kids find it boring, so we're going to tighten it up a bit. We'll do more backstory. We're going to see how Hal was created in the factory. It's going to be great. Kids are going to love it. And it's going to be 2.5 hours long. Yeah, 2.5 hours long. But most of that is how Hal is created, because I think we need to see the backstory of Hal. And I think people would assassinate me if I did that. But yes, I watched Nosferatu, and basically, it's crap. That's the review. That's it. It's set in Germany, right? Because Robert Eggers, he's going to bring in a bit of the original, the F.W. Murnau's original from 1920. He's going to bring a bit of that in. Now, Murnau made it in Germany because he was a German, for a German audience. And also, he was ripping off Bram Stoker's Dracula. And copyright, whack. Mrs. Bram Stoker said, and got most of the copies destroyed because of copyright. And only a few copies end up surviving, and that's how we got the version we know today. So he sets it in Germany, but all of them speak very, very plummy. It's like, oh, Mama, will there be crumpets for tea? They don't have German accents, except for Willem Dafoe, who's Swiss. He's the Van Helsing kind of character. They're very plummy. He's a bit of a rum sort, I see. You know, and Orlok, or Dracula, he's been completely repurposed. He is basically the Walking Dead. Yeah, he's not a vampire. He's like Walking Evil. It's like very dull, very dull. And it's the story of, again, they rely on the neurotic, hysterical woman trope. Yeah, Johnny Depp's daughter plays the female lead. It's very much her story, and basically, she gets the vapors. She gets the vapors. She's sexually repressed. That's the thing. She's sexually repressed. And again, it's that Victorian idea that women who are hysterical and they need pleasure. They need pleasure. Because there was this Victorian doctor who invented like the first steam-driven vibrator, and that's how he used to treat hysterical women. So you got that trope, and I'm not a big fan of the hysterical woman trope. Unless there's a reason, like in The Shining, where Jack Nicholson's running amok with an axe. I think you're allowed to be hysterical there, but just being hysterical. And somehow she's connected to Orlok because she was lonely as a child. Huh? Okay. Now again, the good thing about these vampire stories before is there's still a bit of man left in the beast, and the man falls in love, becomes entranced by the wife of the Jonathan Harker character. And so he thinks, I I'm heading in their neck of the woods. Neck. You see where I'm going? Yeah? There's a joke in there. You finish it. But no, they're already connected. They went for the Wicker Man ending, where he's dead as soon as as soon as he appear on the screen. They're dead. They're finished. It's over. And you're sitting there thinking, I know where this is going. I know where this is going. And so, whereas in the old ones, the man, the remnants of the man becomes entranced with the woman and is distracted to the point of destruction. Who can escape what he desires, that thing? Oh, no. She's evil because she wants stumping and he's going to stump her. But he's dead. And he stumps her so good. He gives her such a good stumping that the sun comes up and kills him. Yeah, Johnny Depp's daughter's so good in the sack that he forgets himself and gets finished, and she dies because it was a really good stumping. And I'm sitting there thinking, and that's nothing. Her old man, who's the estate agent, Nicholas Hoult, he travels to Transylvania and he sees all the Romany folk, you know what they're like. Don't go in there, don't go, that thing, And he kind of gets stumped by, look, there's some weird feeding going on and dry humping on his leg. It's like, what? Is he a dog? What's going on? But he escapes by falling from a very great height into a river. And I'm thinking, he's done for, he's finished. He's over. He ain't coming back. I was wrong. He came back. On the banks of a river, some Romany salt, she sees him and rescues him. And the Orthodox priest with the big beard, dances him with holy water and says, you can't leave. But he leaves. But he's unconscious and he's got a magic horse that can get him all the way from Transylvania back to Germany. He must have like sort of 1860s sat-nav or something. It's like, how did he do that? And then when he gets there, he falls off the horse. It's like, what? How did that happen? I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed at all, because it fundamentally changes the story and it makes the villain, the beast, just a beast, and that's it. There's no humanity left in him. That's the whole point. There's still some human in him. He still craves human contact. He doesn't want to kill everybody. Well, this guy wants to kill everybody because he's evil, and only stumping can kill him. Sacrifice. She's got the randy wife. Has the neurotic, hysterical randy wife is the only way out. Thanks, Mr. Eggers. Nah, it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good. I know he's trying to subvert expectations, but it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good. But there you go. Oh dear. Harry says, damn the good egg. No, I just smell like eggs. Just can't. I don't know what that's all about. It must be the tablets. John says, Stills and Nash are needed young for the LA5 benefit. Stills' voice is shot. They should have got Crosby back. I'm sure you could have done. It's all good. Harry says, the next tour is my first time with the Taurus pedals. So I'm sure everyone's excited to hear bass and Taurus pedals are semitone out from each other. Make your teeth itch. Well, yeah, that should be good, wouldn't it? That should be good. Just... John says the 2010 movie wasn't great. It's got Ellen Mirren in it. Ellen Mirren. Let's just take a moment. Ellen Mirren. Well, that was a sequel. It wasn't a remake, and that was based on wasn't that based on a book that Arthur C. Clarke had written? Again, it's sci-fi. It's I don't. Again, it's Arthur C. Clarke's fault for writing sequels to the first novel. He shouldn't have done it, but he did. Andrew says, watch Blue Velvet again. Blue Velvet. Oh. I won't do any more because I'm probably already deregulated. Oh, John C says, Hal meets R2D2 and K9. Well, you've got to have an origin story, innit? You've got to have origins. Harry says, I saw Nosferatu a few weeks back. Visually interesting, but hollow. A bit like Count Orlok's cock. Yeah, again, Eggers is very good with the visuals. It's style over substance. I'm not saying you should feel sympathy for Orlok, but the whole point of Dracula is he is charming. Vampires are charming by nature. Again, in the Werner Herzog version, he's almost pitiful. You feel sorry for him. There is a vulnerability to him. But they made it a monster, and so you just go, what? He's just evil, and that's not interesting. Evil on its own isn't interesting. You've got to know how he fell. You've got to know how he got to that point. Or we need a prequel. We need Nosferatu 2, the prequel. But no. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Rob Eggers. I think that The Witch is just a really great film, and The Lighthouse is just. And again, he likes authenticity. With the Lighthouse, he got more speaking in the lingo, in the accent of the time. So it's not very authentic when they're all speaking with oh I say that creepy Count Orlok. He's a bit of a cad, isn't he? It's like what? I know. In these political correct times, you can't do a German accent. I know. Well, get them to speak German, dub it into English or something. Put English subtitles up. So he should have just said it in Grimsby. He should have said it in England. He should have used some of it, and then at least a bit with the it wasn't called the Demeter, but in the book and in the movie, the Demeter, when it comes across the Grimsby and they're all massacred, it makes more sense. And the fact that the guy can go via boat and the horse can get there at the same. Again, don't think about it. Horse, boat, no, or whatever. Yeah, it's a shame because I was really looking forward to it. Stop looking forward to it. Sty says Psycho 98 was shite as well. Horribly made, carbon copy of the original cast of actors who were great and other stuff. Can't remake Hitchcock. Oh, that was the shot by shot remake with Vince Vaughn and Anne Hesh, wasn't it? The one that crashed her car at speed into the house and exploded. No, for real. That wasn't in a film. That was for real. Yeah. Yeah. Why? I never really understood it. Why? Payne says, even talk of a magic horse doesn't make you want to watch it. Well, it's not technically magic, but he's supposed to be like he collapses onto the horse, and he's like. You don't even see him doing that, doing the thing. He's like, and then when he gets back to Germany, the horse knows exactly where to go. He falls right outside his house. It's like, come on, really? It would have been better if he'd escaped and got in a stagecoach and collapsed in the back of the stagecoach. Because a stagecoach, he would have done it by coach, not by horse. I think in the books. Harker goes by stagecoach. Or did I imagine that? It might be in the film. But anyway, by horse? Really? To Transylvania? Really? But, it makes good visuals. That's the thing, isn't it? You say spot on. Eggers Nosferatu, a case of big budget, massive stupidity. Yeah, it was. It was like, what? And I couldn't care for any of the characters. All of them were like cold and awful. You didn't feel like any. You didn't feel. Nicholas Hoult was again playing it as a cold fish. Lily Rose Depp is they say her performance is great, but she just spazzes out. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, spazzes out all the time. It's like The Exorcist. Now, I'm not a fan of The Exorcist. I'm sorry, I've never have been. I don't find it scary. It makes me laugh. I find it funny, you know. And so she does all the old, you know, and you go, okay, really, okay, and just like, and it's 2.25 hours. It feels like 4. It really feels like a long time. It feels like I was watching it for hours and hours and hours. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that. You know, I'm glad I didn't go to the cinema. I considered going, but I'd have been even more disappointed. But yeah, it just reminded me of King Kong, the Peter Jackson version, because that, again, I was kind of looking forward to it, and then when I watched it, I went, what the actual am I watching here? What the? This is terrible. It's awful. Was. John C says, should have recruited Crosby's son or James Taylor. John C says, young Nosferatu would be good, as in young Sheldon. Well, if you can do it with Mel Brooks, get Mel Brooks to do it. Young Nosferatu, you know, walk this way. No, not T-Dog says, Depp and Taylor Johnson were both terrible. They all were. They were all terrible. No one was good in it. No one. It was just really hammy. You know, and the funny thing is if you've seen The Northman, which is an adaptation of Hamlet, yeah, it's like the origin story of Hamlet. It's all, you know, thee, thou, that kind of stuff. It's, you know, it's all set in Viking times, and the worst one in that is Nicole Kidman. I mean, more wood than Epping Forest, and I live right next to Epping Forest. But you know, it's hammy. It's meant to be. It's, you know, it's that, you know, it's Vikings. I enjoyed it. You know, it was on during the COVID times. It came up. Oh, I watched that, and I enjoyed that one. I thought it was all right. Mrs. did. I think the Mrs. didn't. I don't think she thought much of that one. She liked The Lighthouse and The Witch. Very like The Witch as well. But you know, Black Phillip, he never got any work again. You know, never got any work because he was so hard to work with. It's true. And yeah, they retired him after that. They was going to do a sequel, The Witch 2. You know, Black Phillip's Revenge, but it sounded too much like a pirate film, so they retired him because he was a right diva. He really was, and they put him out to stud, and that is a true story. Go and look that up. I'm not lying. Well, I'm lying about the sequel, but they did put him out to stud because he was just so difficult to handle on set because he was just, you know, he was a diva. He was a diva.